welcome to another edition of Let the Brothers Speak. I'm your host, Big C, the chef, and we got the fellas here, and we got a special guest with us. Go ahead and tell us who you are, fellas.
Sean Day.
What's going on? It's your boy Migo again.
Hey, this is Mike Wells. How y'all doing?
Yeah, it's Appleberry Apple Juice. Appleberry, baby. How y'all doing again?
All right. Well, here we are. How was you all's week?
Oh, it was a rough one for me.
Oh, that explains it.
From a standpoint, a little bit emotional, but I'll share it. 2 Tuesdays ago, one of my artists and my brother had to take him to the hospital and walked him into the hospital. Had to pretty much carry him into the hospital on Tuesday. And as I'm pulling up, my mother-in-law calls me and said, "Hey, your grandfather, we need help getting him." So once all the dust settled, both of them was in the same hospital. When I checked on my grandfather was doing pretty good. So I went down to see him, and they were doing an ultrasound on him. As they were doing an ultrasound on him, it was hurting him just for the touch, right? And I was like, I ain't never seen him like that. So left that on Tuesday, talked to him. Last thing he told me, "Hey, bro, give me a cranberry juice. They won't give me one," right? So left there on Tuesday, get a call. He's going to Medical City, Dallas, because they have a liver specialist there. He shot to the top of the list in the nation for a liver transplant, but his body was too weak to take that. So Friday he passed. And so I'm dealing with that all week. And then I was wrestling back and forth because I had all these things I got to do of making the funeral. And I was able to move some stuff around, talk to some of my professors, and made it to the funeral on Saturday. And it was needed, if that makes sense, to get the closure, see his family beautiful. One of those guys that just loves on people no matter what, give you his last. He gave you everything that he got. So like I said, it was a rough and a challenging week from that perspective. So, but I'm here. Gonna honor his name. We got some big things planned for him as well. Like I say, he started off as one of my artists, but he ended up being a brother. And what was so cool about it, the name of our company is Three Kings Empire. He's one of those kings, and they were able to bury him with the crown. So that was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, from their perspective, but trying to look at light on the other side of the tunnel. He's been speaking to me, telling me, "Hey, bro, keep going. You always inspire me, and I want to keep being that light," if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how my week went.
One time for his grandpa.
One time for my boy Tico.
All right.
King Tico.
King
All
Tico.
right.
King Tico.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh.
What else? How was your
I
week?
can tell you my week was rather laid back as usual. Got a chance to go out on the kayaks.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
man. I got a chance to have a conversation with God, and I was expecting to catch a lot of fish. Caught an attitude at first, and then I said, "No, why am I getting an attitude?" Then I caught a fish, and it made me sit back and think, you're not always gonna get what you want in life, but there's always a blessing somewhere in disguise. So I was good with that. I got a chance to get out there and be away from people. I had to recharge my battery. That's one of the problems that we as brothers sometimes have, is that as men, we're trying to provide for our family. We're trying to do this for the job, trying to do this for everybody else, and not taking that time for ourselves. And it was great for me to finally get that time for me.
Okay. I'll say mine is kind of mixed emotions, because on the one hand, y'all don't know, but I ride motorcycles. So man, I got to get out and ride my bike today, and it was a big meetup with some friends that are from out of state. So that was just amazing overall. Excuse me. But I'm hit with a dilemma right now because it might be one of them. I'm in that process of life where I'm growing a lot, man, honestly, and it's possible that God is showing me that one of my friends, we've run our course, like just, and I'm hating it because I have that human sickness of, because I've had this relationship with you and I've created this bond with you, I want to keep giving you chances. But because of what I went through in the past relationship was where I'm like, hey, I can't make that same mistake. I can't say a lot about it because I haven't actually had to sit down with him. Yeah. So I don't want him to necessarily find out through this lane, but I'm really realizing that, man, after hearing other things and having similar conversation with other people, just realizing that, man, this might be one of them parts where, hey, man, you're not going into the next chapter. And I hate that because, like I say, it was a connection. Yeah. There was a reason why you were in my life. But at some point, man, I realized, man, when certain people don't change, bro, it's like you can only carry him so much until basically what you were saying about that anchor. At one point, me trying to carry him is going to become me holding the anchor in the pool, and I'm on the deep end. So
yeah.
Well, even if you were just holding it on land, you hold an anchor, you hold weight long enough in front of you, your back gonna start hurting.
I got a perspective on that, but we'll let our guest come on in and talk a little bit about his week first.
My week has been awesome. I've been on the high all week. I have a new business venture that I'm starting, that I'm learning.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. What's your name?
My name is DeShone.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That people know.
DeShone, double D. DeShone Dave, baby.
There it is.
And like yourself, I've been able to fish twice this week. I got me some alone. Well, I fished once this week. Yesterday, I went out on the water and got some alone time so that I can hear clearly and be spoken to directly.
Yeah.
So I was able to do that twice this week.
That clarity is wonderful.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. So I've been on a high all week. It's been an awesome week. And I'm seeing prayers get answered.
Ooh, come on now.
Plain in black and white.
Yeah.
No fluff on it. Just straight.
Straight gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. Is the correct way to put it.
Yeah. Just want to kind of circle back to you on that perspective, right? It's kind of funny because me and my wife was talking about this last night, and she was like, "You have a hard time like cutting people off, right?" And I said, "I don't cut nobody off." And this is my perspective. I got a third street perspective, right? Let me explain what this means. When I was playing basketball, my coach had two things that we would do, right? One of the things we would do, or one of the things he would say is that nobody on this team, I will ever cut them. You're going to cut yourself. Right? And then we had to always run to 3rd Street. So this is my 3rd Street perspective. So 3rd Street from my high school was about 3 miles, and you run there and come back, right? During that time, you're going to cross, I'm just saying this, about 5 to 6 streets. So let's say we're a basketball team. It's about 15 people on the team. We start running all as a group. The goal is to go to 3rd Street and back, right? So I already got the goal, and I got the goal that I'm going to obtain, right? So let's say we running, we pass the 1st street. You're going to have a person that's probably going to stop, right? We go to the next street. You're going to have a person that probably stops there, right? You have another street that we pass, and so on and so on and so forth. And you hit 3rd Street and you come back. Well, on my way back, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to see those people, right? And my perspective is this. My goal is 3rd Street and back. You can go with me, but you ain't going to stop me, right? And on the way back, I'm going to encourage you to come on back with me, even if you stop halfway through, because I'm the type of person that I'm going to be me regardless, right? Because I got a 3rd Street perspective. I got to go there and come back. And tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing. So if you can't keep up, guess what's going to happen? You're going to cut yourself, right? So I've never had to cut a relationship out, because when I got to the point where I'm going to 3rd Street and you couldn't go, You can go with me to see the flowers at 3rd Street. I saw them. You got to get there to get that perspective yourself. So it's just one of the perspectives I have, which I think is a little bit different than other people would have, if that makes sense.
But that's not bad though. But here's why I can't do it. And it's not because I don't want to, but it's because of it's one of the things of, remember I was talking about everybody have their addictions.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why I can't do it, because my downfall is if I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you somebody on the street, look, I have respect for you because everybody deserves respect. But if I love you, and once I call you my bro, you my bro. It's family. It's whatever. It's family.
Because you've earned it.
If I love you, I give you too many chances.
Gotcha.
So if I cut you off and I give you another chance, whether you have done better or not, I'm going to start getting pulled back into it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm realizing that, because like you said, I can't just encourage you on my way back. I'm gonna start pulling. What I might actually do, rather than keep running, I didn't already ran that way, bro. But I'm finna turn around and run with you to push you that way, and then I'm finna do double the work and possibly miss what God had told me I was supposed to be doing. I might miss my window. Now, if I see you trying and you coming around, I'll be there for you, because I'm finna reach the destination, and then I can give you some ins and outs. But my issue is that I know me as a person that
got you.
Man, forget my race. Let me help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I have this tendency to keep throwing what I need for me aside to help somebody else. So because of that, I realized I got to cut you off in this season. And even if I cut you off because of the things you've done, I'm not angry. I just take it for what it is. Now, if our paths cross again, cool. And I do hope you're in a better place, the same way I hope I'm in a different and better place at that time.
Yeah.
But as for where we at right now, bro, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I see right now you're not moving in the lane I'm moving as far as who I want to be. And it doesn't mean that you have to be on the same trajectory as me, but you have to be on a trajectory by itself.
Period.
Like, if you still here, like I feel like this. It's like insanity, where they say doing the same thing
over and over,
but expecting a different result.
Absolutely.
The moment you realize you have a problem and you don't do nothing about the problem, then you are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's different from doing something and you haven't yet realized that there's something you're doing that's wrong. But when somebody has told you and you start to see it and you're seeing the impact it has on people and you don't do nothing about it, it's you. Mm-hmm. It becomes that no, it's not me, it's you. It's you now. It's actually you, because you know there's an issue and you're now accepting it. So in my mind, you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but I do understand that, and that is dope, because you're still able to give people encouragement, even though you went past them and they realize that you're ahead of them. But the fact is, they keep moving forward, even though they see you passing them, they're still moving forward. But I'm at a situation where it don't look like he's moving forward. Got you. And I hate that for him, because, like I said, I love him, but
I have somewhat of a different perspective.
Okay.
As for yourself, you say you're not gonna cut anybody off. They're gonna cut themselves off. I'm one like you. I love hard, just like you. That's what I heard from you. I heard a man that loves hard. Mm-hmm. It is in my belief that either we grow together, or we grow apart. Yeah. It is in my belief that everything has a season. Yeah. And this is something I was brought up on. The way I'm going might not be the way you're going. That don't mean I love you no less. That don't mean I love you no more. We just not headed the right direction. Mm-hmm. That's the part of growing together or growing apart. So that's how I look at it.
I've had similar situations where I've learned sometimes I have to remove my grace from somebody's life.
Don't you feel like you just disappointed your father right there?
Because I've had to do that even with family members. Yeah. Just remove my grace. I'm not saying that I don't love you. I can love you from a distance. It's sort of like, I'm a kid. I had my parents bought me this pet. And then I find out I'm allergic to that pet. Now, what do? Well, we can get rid of the pet, but I still love the pet. So sometimes you may have to be away from that pet. You may have to give it to another family member and say, hey, that way if I come around, I can see the pet. But me, I've learned that sometimes me trying to be there and help and everything is sort of the thing of, if you teach a man to fit, if you feed a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, they'll eat for the rest of their life. So sometimes by removing my presence from their life and saying, okay, God, you have your way with them, because I can't do nothing for them, right? I'm not saying that I'm not looking at where you're going in life. I'm going to check on you, but I'm just not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. If I see that you're moving ahead, you're trying now, I might say, okay, yeah, this person looks like they're trying. But if you're not trying, okay, I'm just going to stay away.
And you know what? The thing I hated the most that made me realize this is when I was talking to my other friend about it, who was having similar issues, was I said, bro, a part of my spirit makes me feel like he talks about me differently when he's around others.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the moment where I said, I wonder if God is trying to show me something, because I've never just had that feeling. It's kind of like how they used to say back in the day, I think what if your ear is itching or something, that means somebody talking about you. Like, I literally had this feeling in my spirit. I said, bro, something is just telling me that when we're not around each other, it doesn't mean all the time, but maybe sometime when he's upset or something, that he doesn't talk about me in the same light when we're around each other. So I said, the fact that I feel like that, I said, that can't just come out of nowhere. And the fact that I've gotten to a point where I start listening to my spirit more, I said, God, I do feel God is giving me a different type of discernment in these in this day and age. This actually, like, since December, and I definitely think he took me to a new height with it. And I said, bro, it's something about it. It's a feeling that I can't shake, that I just feel when I ain't around, bro. I ain't been talked about the same. And it's not me that I care about how people talk about me. I said, bro, you as my brother, why do I have this feeling in my gut that you don't talk about me the way you talk to me? So I don't know, man. We're gonna see, man. God be talking, and I'm like, either he's like, hey, bro, I'm giving you the answers and I'm giving you what you need. So I'm gonna listen. We're gonna see how this go.
Yeah, it's up to us to make those choices, right?
Yeah.
And then as well, everybody's perspective is important. I would say that, mine is not more important than yours, vice versa, things of that nature. So however you deal with those things, I think all of y'all hit on a very good point about knowing who you are as a person and what you can take and what you can deal with and things of that
like
nature.
What you said with the mask in the plane when it's going down. You have to sometimes learn that you have to put your mask on first before you can put the mask on somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if your spirit is saying, hey, take care of me.
Absolutely.
Take care of you first. Because you could run yourself dry like a battery, and you no good to anybody until you get refilled or recharged. So it's really up to you. Like I said, my spirit says, okay, this is burning me. I'm gonna step away. And like I said, I love everybody. I love it to the point that my wife, previous wife, and sometimes my friends are like, why you give these people extra chances, like you said? But I had to learn to step away. And maybe it's the Baltimore in me, because addicts are leech on you more than a parasite, because when they know that you are an enabler, they hold on to you. They are mad when you try to leave.
They play on your good heart and spirit. They know.
Absolutely.
Big bro, you got anything to add to that?
Well, not off top, but not off top right now. Go ahead.
Got you. We'll bring it back. But a good transition though. What you talking about, knowing who you are, brings to the topic. I was asking if y'all wanted to talk about with the whole J. Cole and Kendrick. I don't really care about the rap side. The two parts I care about is the part of how people talked about him for why he made his decision. Like, I get rap battle is cool, and it is, but the reasons behind him saying why he couldn't do it. The fact that that man said it didn't sit right with his spirit. And if you don't look at nothing else, look at when he presented the apology. He presented it at his own concert. But
don't mean to cut you off. Can you set that up for us a little bit for those people who don't know what that is?
for y'all that don't know, you know, Kendrick Lamar is a rapper who made like maybe 4 bars towards J. Cole. And J. Cole is another rapper who had an album come out, and he had this whole song at the end called 7-Minute Drill. And he didn't really go light. He didn't really go heavy on him. It was kind of light. He was you know, a lot of the shots was basically like Kendrick makes a song or an album every blue moon, and then he disappears, or he talks about somebody and then he disappears. Like he ain't just out every, let's say he ain't active. He ain't continuously active with his rapping.
And so just so I can clarify that, active means in the rap game like every 3 months.
Basically. Yeah, he ain't got no albums coming out. Like, look, he gonna give like the solo clips. He gonna come out every solo clips and give you something. But yeah, but so he made his little warning shot back, and then I guess he came out and told the truth that really he never wanted to actually make a response track towards him. It was more so his friends and him listening to people, and he didn't want to benefit them. And he said doing it really made his spirit feel unaligned with God and his purpose. And people clowned him and then shunned him for that. And I said, I get it. Now, if you do listen to his album, it is him like, hey, y'all don't step to me, or I'll step up. But I don't think in a lot of ways he was referring to people he actually cared about. And he even started off like his apology was saying, you know, this feel like it'll have bad blood in it. Like, in, you know, a lot of these rap beefs that are really sometimes supposed to be entertaining end up with somebody dying. But the fact that people, like I say, shunned this man and talked about this man because he said, just don't allow my spirit with. That's just that man telling y'all who he is. And like,
absolutely,
we got a black man who's actually conscious of who he is, bro. and then we ask for men to be more open with their emotions. We ask for men to actually not cause more destruction on our own people. And then when he actually steps up and says, yo, I was wrong, regardless of what, matter of fact, he said, he got to a point where he said, hey, if you feel some way about my rebuttal, take your best shot at me. I won't fire back. But everybody else say something, but we talking down on them. Now, I get it, you got the rap side, but when do you ever have a rapper that mentions this bothered my spirit?
Sure.
I think that was him being a leader, a major. I think that was a power move.
Careful. Sometimes they don't like that word leader.
I think that was him being a leader. You know, I stand on it.
10 toes.
Yeah.
10 toes.
And for him to do it at his concert, that was huge.
Yeah.
So, but my question that I propose is, do people not want to see that? Do people really not want for us to be accountable?
That's an $8 question.
Do people not? You know, we say we want, you know, stop the bloodshed, stop the gun violence. Do people really not want that? Do people want to see the mess? People want to see the beef?
Well, as sad as it sounds, it's sort of like what I learned from a Cajun. He says, whenever you have 2 crabs in a pot, you'll never need a lid. And what ends up happening is Kendrick may have tried to pull J. Cole down. J. Cole said, look, I'm trying to get out this pot, right? Because I'm not that crab, right? And everybody else is like, no, we want you to be that crab. They're trying to keep him down. Sometimes you just got to learn that, you know what, there's always going to be one crab that's going to get out that pot, whether or not. But he's stepping up and he's saying, look, I'm going to be a man. Stop all this boy stuff. You know, it takes a man to stand up and say, you know what, I'm wrong. He did the diss publicly. He also did the apology publicly, which stands a lot better to someone like me that says, okay, yeah, that's a real man. You know, you identify with a man because a man walks like a man, he talks like a man, he does man things. Anybody that can't do that is a boy.
Well, like I heard somebody say, earlier today. I was looking at a podcast this morning, and I heard somebody else say, it's like when Trey got out the car. Hey, Doe, stop the car. I want to get out. Nobody was mad at Trey.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. This not me, man. This ain't me. So I'm gonna get out the car. Why you getting mad at J. Cole for it?
Mm-hmm.
Because he
Yeah.
got out the car.
Huh?
Yeah, because he got out the car.
Got out the car.
My perspective with being having never participated in beats, but being in the rap game, right, and worked with a lot of different people and witnessed people not firsthand but indirectly, you know, lose their lives based on beef and things of that nature. I'm sure, like in the '90s with the whole Death Row and the West Coast and things of that nature, if you were able to kind of see some of that and living through that, that perpetuate itself on top of itself and things of that nature. Before I get to my perspective, I'm gonna say this quote because I told you I like quotes, right? Every system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. Say that again. Every system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. So when you look at the hip hop industry, it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. And when J. Cole didn't respond like he should respond, what it's designed to do, it looks different. And when you start fighting the system that's designed to do one thing, you look totally different. You know, you're this white dove in the midst of all of this darkness. And I think we talked about this last time when we talked about the eclipse. But what we all know, and what I've learned out the eclipse as well, is that no matter how much darkness it is, light always shines through. Right. So as we would church song you would sing, let your light shine, shine, shine. There's someone down in the valley trying to get home. Right. So I look at their perspective and I look at J. Cole's perspective. He was the adult in the room. Right. He stood up and said, you know, no matter what, there's other people looking at me, whether I want this role model position or not. Whether I want this role model position or not, there's other people looking at me. This didn't sit well in my spirit. Let me say something about it. And then show you what it looks like, as you said, to be a leader, right? And typically, you know, when you're a leader and you're the first one, you usually get martyred, right? And that's what's happening from a social perspective and things of that nature. But what he has shown all of us is that there's another way. And so when we look at this perspective, now we have documented evidence that there's another way and how you can handle that. So I applaud the brother for that.
Absolutely. You hit it on the head. Because I think he even said some of his friends were saying it's wartime. And we don't know what his friends were saying in messages and phone calls. So what if this man's seen it getting bigger than these bars?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I've been ready to fight somebody before and realized that my friends that were with me was finna make this worse than what it's about to be. Like,
absolutely.
It wasn't finna just be I know how it was back then. You fight, either you shake hands or you don't, but after that you go your way.
Go your separate ways.
But no, it wasn't that they was ready to shoot, but they was ready to harm him more than just he might just lose his fight. So maybe J. Cole saying that this is gonna get past words. This may involve some bullets. This may involve starting to slander people's children and families, because like J. Cole said, he didn't say nothing malicious. He just was going at the fact that about his activities. So maybe he's seen something possibly about to transpire, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna just be the bigger man and not let this go that route.
Absolutely. So, I've been in situations, local rap, if that makes sense, right? Where it was about to go terrible.
Yeah.
And I said, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go this way. And everybody immediately. So you know somebody on this level, if he say go, they're gonna go dumb. Like they're gonna go dumb, like retarded, right? So for him to realize that and have that moment of clarity that there could be lives lost behind this of something that's put on wax. Nah, we ain't going that way. We're not going that way. I'm gonna stand on 10. I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and then that's that. And then we're gonna get back to business as usual and do this show. Right? But I am gonna let you know how I feel about this. So again, like I just said earlier, I commend the brother for that. You know, it's an example we all can look to, just even when we're dealing with our families and things of that nature. So
knowing that it was gonna be taken as people gonna slander his name, and that's still showing that, hey, us as men, learn how to hold the L. You ain't gotta always come out on top, because sometimes the person on top ain't really the bigger man.
Yeah.
You know, I got this one Christian rapper that I listen to, Bizzle, and he has a song called "Who the Man," and he talks about how a guy cuts him off he accidentally cuts a guy off, but then the guy speeds by and he's throwing his hands up and everything, and his wife is touching him on the chest and said, "Babe, your kids are watching." You know, so then he just takes an L and lets the guy drive off, right? But in that thing, he shows a different scenario. He says, "Well, let's say that I went and got mine because I'm strapped, you know, and I'm throwing up like that." He says, "Well, the guy got his hand down, so when he go to pop off, right, this guy's already squeezed off a couple shots. By that time, when he realizes it, he's like, 'Babe, I think I got hit. Babe, his wife was shot."
Right.
And then now he's a single father. But then he goes on another way. He says, "Hey," and another one, it shows that maybe I got it off. Now my kids are looking at me through a jail cell, right? You know, and then he says, what happens if he loses the kids? So he says, you know, taking that one L was actually a W.
Yeah, that's what it goes to say. Just because it might not, it might look like an L right now. It's not an L.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah, everybody say, yeah, take an L. It doesn't have to be an L. Right. Just because it might look like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people shun you, don't make it a L.
Don't make it an L.
Yeah. I can give you two people. And I'm not saying one is as great as the other. Jesus. Took a lot of crap. I almost said the other, but he took a lot of mess, man. And kept on the path. Another person, LeBron James, since 18 was told he was a chosen one. Then had everybody at every step, then try to tell this man why he's not. This man has done nothing but been an outstanding player, father, and businessman. Regardless of what the world says about him or what they try and bring at him, this man has always stayed the course. So my hat's off to a person like J. Cole who was able to say, I know what this is going to entail, but I'm going to do it anyways. Even though this ain't what the popular side would do at this point in this day and age, I'm gonna still do it.
Yeah, stand on business, right?
He stood on it 10 toes down, man.
Already.
10 toes down, man.
In those two examples you gave, that was perfect. But I still say LeBron James is number 2 all time.
Hey, that's gonna we gotta set that up. We gotta set that up.
Yeah.
Because I can make an argument for that.
I can too. So whenever we get ready for that.
You're number one.
Huh?
You're number one?
Jordan,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I respect it though.
It's not an insult to say he's number 2.
No.
Right. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not an insult. It's just it depends on what aspects you look at in it.
Yeah.
Because I look at it in a different aspect outside of just the stats.
I'm not necessarily even looking at stats, if that makes sense.
I just look at I'm looking at and I'm not saying he couldn't have done it. I'm looking at the longevity.
Oh,
that's
but
why
I think that's a different conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's fair then.
Yeah. I think that's a different conversation.
But if we go in accolades, 6 is great. But 4 in the scoring, leading scoring, it can go.
Yeah, I get it from the perspective of and I played basketball. I got a scholarship. I played with some of the best players in the world. Like when I went to Nike camp, Ron Artest was my roommate. Tim Duncan, my coach, right? So I got a different perspective
Okay.
when you watch players, right? But when you look at it from perspective, the name of the game is to put the ball in the hole, and this person has put the ball in the hole more than anybody else. With the longevity, you got to have the longevity before that. But my rebuttal would be that you weren't saying that about Kareem when he did it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I couldn't have said nothing about Kareem because I was still in the sack. Not even then, honestly.
Yeah.
I think my daddy was in the sack at that point. But like I say, man, it's hard because you really can't approach them from the same argument.
Yeah. I don't think from the same lens.
And that's what makes it such a great argument, or let's say debate, for people who don't like the term argument.
Right.
Like, because you come from different aspects with it is why it makes it such a great debate. But really, you can't put nobody else in there. So
no. There's nobody else in that conversation.
That will always be a debate.
Yeah,
man.
Not even Kobe.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Killer.
Okay.
But I'm talking about when you're talking about if we had to do top two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't put nobody else in that debate.
He is, but I would call him Michael Jordan Jr.
Who?
Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Because he literally was like
that's why I couldn't put him in there, because LeBron is so different.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this person did everything to accentuate and be like Jordan.
Yeah.
This person is totally different. Like, he embodies like everybody that has Karl Malone body.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about? You see what I'm saying? Pass like magic. You know what I'm saying? Drive to the hole. Like, probably the best driver I've ever seen ever in my life when you're talking about drive to the hole. Like, and he still can do that now in 21 years in. So totally different.
It's like if you wanted to compare Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Yeah.
Both are great, but the way they approach it is just completely different.
Approach.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like you got to keep in mind that they played in two totally different eras.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that too.
And I look at that
in Jordan's era, they get put out the game if they got fouled. The way the fouls are called now.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Kobe, he had both of those eras.
He had the opportunity to play in both of those. Right.
Right.
I would say, though, from my perspective, like, Kobe my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because he got the chance to go against both.
I'm a Dirk fan. So.
Yeah, you're a Dirk fan. That's my son too.
That turnaround, man. I love that.
I most definitely loved him beating the Heat, but
we should have had two. But whatever.
I most definitely love that. But just, from that perspective, if you talk about LeBron from like what he's done for the game, you talk about his impact on social issues and things of that nature. I mean, that's totally different, but nobody has done it like that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But you have to look at it from this perspective as well. You had people like Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, things of that nature, who went through those types of things, who paved the way for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you make that path so clear where Michael Jordan was only getting, in his first couple, 8 to 10 years, I think somewhere between $5 to $10 million, and he started getting 30 at the end. Well, LeBron has made well over that. Yeah. Charles Barkley are talking about that, like how Jordan was able to advance the game and get us way more money.
Mm-hmm.
You got a kid like I don't know if you know Earl Watson, used to be a coach. I think for Utah Jazz, he played for him a long time as well. That man made over $50 million. $150 million. More than Jordan made in his career, more than Scottie Pippen, Karl Malone, things of that nature. And it was because of the impact that Jordan had on the game. And before that, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So you look at that, it's like different perspectives. And like I say, everybody has their perspective. But that's just my perspective. He's still number two.
I think what makes it hard is that Jordan is basically seen, even though Wilt and Bill did what they did, Jordan is seen as the blueprint, and it's hard to ever knock the blueprint. You know? And I'll say Jordan is one of those people with him and LeBron, I think, could have been in anybody's era, and it wouldn't have changed nothing.
Wouldn't change nothing. Yeah,
it wouldn't have changed nothing. I know sometimes the older ones say, "Oh, they can't play." I'm like, I think LeBron could. I mean, the man is a tank.
Yeah,
like size wise, I think he could have got it. I think he could have still got his shots off and everything. But I do recognize what Jordan put in, so I never deny that. It's just I think me being in my generation, I look like you say, it's whatever however you looking at it is how you're gonna pick who you think is the best. Like if I like how Jordan plays game, and I like that really ain't nobody gonna match what he did, I'm gonna pick Jordan. But if I like the LeBron side, you're gonna go with LeBron because you like his dynamics. So it's like it's because they're opposite. You'll never be able to compare them to each other because they approach the game
from two different aspects.
So it'll never be that.
Jordan, like in my opinion, he's more like I'm gonna do this, and LeBron is like we gonna do this.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a difference if that makes sense.
Yeah, with LeBron, it was more of okay, I'm gonna draw your attention to me, and then I see my man across the court. You can almost guarantee when it was the last 5 seconds of the game, they were trying to get it into Jordan's hands.
Oh yeah, no. They wasn't trying. He said, I'm getting the ball.
Yeah.
And everybody else move out the way.
Kendrick and J. Cole.
right.
One super aggressive, one is like, man, this don't sit right with my spirit.
Yeah.
And if we ain't all eating right. Okay.
Absolutely.
We might still bring that back because that was a snippet. That was we gave a little trailer. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Where we going next?
Bro, I had
here we go.
I had two things that was on my mind, right? And I know we as men, most of us are married, but you know, we like to do things for our women, right? And I came across a post where this young lady was pointing out how much it costs for her lashes, how much it costs for her facial, how much it costs for her nails, how much it costs for this thing and that thing, right? And then at the end, she said, your $100 ain't gonna do, sir, right? Now, it's one thing to make it a man's obligation to do this. It's another thing to compel that man to do something. Now, I don't know what her situation is, so I'm not going to fault her or anything like that, but I know that if, as a man, that woman is doing everything that she can for me, and she says, babe, I need to get my hair done, bam, I got you. All right, babe, my nails got broken and everything, and I was trying to look cute and everything when my girlfriends and I go out. Okay, babe, I got you, because she's doing all the right things. My wife don't normally have to ask for that, but if it is a woman that, let's say that you're dating and everything, and she's expecting you to, as an obligation, to do this, and it hasn't gotten to that point of where, you know, sort of like that thing where women had the places that they don't want to go on the first date.
Right.
I'm saying this as a man. If I don't know you well enough, I'm not taking you to Fogo de Chao, to Tejas de Brazil. I'm not taking you to Pappas Brothers. We're going to go someplace nice. I'm going to get a chance to know you, because where I started off at on that first date, I know that I can never go lower than that.
You gotta have some room to grow.
Yeah. I know I can't go no lower than that. So if you have an expectation to just run my money out, then you know what's going to happen with the average dude. The average dude is like, okay, if I'm spending that much, you know what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah.
So don't put expectations that you don't want expectations back from, you know, because now it becomes transactional instead of relational, right? And I think where that post looked like it was more transactional, and if that's your man, I don't know who this person is, right? That he gave $100, you should be happy that he put something towards it instead of it being, because I mean, if a guy said, well, if you want me to come visit you, you got to put gas in my truck, you got to pay half of my car payment, you got to pay, you know, then it don't sound so cool no more. It's transactional. It's a relationship thing. And I just saw that post and I was like, wow, is that where we're going to in this generation? I'm glad that I'm married.
So, yeah, I don't feel like that is transactional. I believe how we start is how we're gonna finish.
Mhm.
So if I start out giving you $250, $300 a week for your hair, nails, and makeup, I should keep that up.
Mhm.
But I'm like you, I need some room to grow.
Mhm.
I don't know that you're worth that investment.
Mhm.
I've seen it I've seen it a lot of times with me, because I see a lot of people feel like they just because you approach them, that at that moment you owe them your all.
Mhm.
My all is a lot. I don't know that you're worth that.
Yeah.
We gotta have some room to grow.
Yeah.
But if I have a wife and that's what I'm doing,
Mhm.
and she's doing everything that she needs to do, I'm totally okay with that.
Mhm.
But just meeting somebody around the way, no, you're not. In my opinion, you're not worth that investment. Just
Not at the beginning.
not at the beginning. I don't know you like that.
Mhm.
What are you doing to make me feel that way? Just being pretty and with a big butt ain't good enough.
I'm Prince Hakeem
Come
in
on
the
in.
beginning of a relationship.
Oh,
I'm Prince Hakeem. You ain't getting a dime from me.
Mhm.
Not
I got it in the slums.
until
Prince
I see where this is going.
Mhm.
If it's going somewhere, then yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's bare minimum. Dinner and a movie, McDonald's and a movie. That's about as far as it's gonna get. You be happy with that? If you're happy with that, if she shows she happy with that, then we can work on something. We can go a little further.
My first date with my wife, we were supposed to go into the movies, and she lived in McKinney, and I lived in South Arlington, and I wanted to meet her halfway, like in Louisville, to go to the movie, right? So we talking like an hour drive.
Yeah.
So I called, and she didn't answer. And then she finally called me, and I was on 121 right before 35. So she don't call me before I get to 35. I'm turning around. Well, she called me. She's like, "Look, I'm tired and everything." I'm like, "I just got rid of my child," because I was a single father. So I just got rid of my child. I want to go to the movies. So I'm gonna tell you how the blessing went. I said, "Look, I will meet you there." Right? I went all the way up to McKinney, and the movie theater in McKinney was $6 for regular, not matinee, for regular. I was like, "Oh Lord, thank you." Right? So I'm like, "Okay, well, you want to eat?" She said, "No, I'm gonna cook you something." I was like, "Hold up." So, well, she told me when we finally started dating, I told her probably the funniest thing she thought. I said, "If you ever think about leaving me, I'm gonna ask you where we going."
Where we going?
Where we going? You ain't going nowhere. I'm like, I got this. I finally got myself a good one. I said, I'm not gonna let her go. I will follow you around like a puppy dog. Like, hey, where we going?
Where we going? Already.
You gonna make me okay? I'm gonna go. If I get us canceled, just send me a fee. I've been talking to my boy JD over here. Some of y'all know who that is, but I'm gonna say this in regards to her list of what she need. If you come to me like you're a receipt, don't be mad if I treat you like a product.
So we man.
If you come to me like you're a receipt, don't be mad if I treat you like a product. Now, I'm really not gonna do that, but understand that if you come to me like that, just know that you already showed me that you ain't even supposed to be in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person who do if God is willing, I pray he blesses me in that fashion. I want to be able to take care of my wife where she ain't got to work. But we do also still have to be understanding of where we at in today's society. You can't sit here and tell me inflation is high and you know that all the jobs ain't jobbing, but you want me to pay because the hair by itself is what, probably $200-$300. And now your nails for 10 of them, for 10 fingers is about $120 by itself.
20, sir. 20. Yeah.
So it's double that.
Yeah.
See, so like for you to and I don't like that women get away with saying, well, I'm not finna treat you like my husband. Well, but yet you get mad at men because he ain't proposed. So that means that man has been acting and showing you husband qualities, but you saying you want to refrain from showing him wife qualities because you're not a wife yet. Well, if what I see in you is what I'm investing in, and I don't see your wife qualities because you holding back, what am I investing in? Because I can go to Bombshells and get the same thing if that's the case. I can go to Hooters. I can subscribe to these websites that's offering the same thing if you're gonna withhold from me the one thing that is supposed to want me to take this to the next level. So for you to tell me that requirement, and this may hurt some people's feelings, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even care.
We don't care.
Appreciate you, JD. I hate women saying I'm the table. Cause I'm older now. Well, ma'am, I'm the roof. I got a mortgage, property tax, and I got bills. Look, I realized that electricity bill at an apartment and the electricity bill at a house is totally different.
Totally different.
And the thing with that, y'all talking about y'all the table, you so incomplete because anytime I go and buy furniture, when I buy a dining room table, it come with chairs. So why you telling me you coming incomplete?
Yeah. And
I don't care about the chair. As a matter of fact, if we getting in a new age house and people don't even sit at the chair, you got the high bar areas now. So anything you coming to me is either outdated or incomplete. So stop coming to me with you the table because what is the table? Like, show me something that really actually gathers my attention that will make me want to say, I don't care how much your nails cost. Baby, when I give it to you, when you come home, that issue you had at GM, that issue you had at work, when you see me, you don't get this, you get the same relief like if you get on your game, or me if I get on my bike, or if I do have me a nice drink. I bring you that peace. I bring you that, I make your house turn into a home. I don't, so you coming to me like a receipt, but you haven't showed me why I should make that investment into those things that you want. Or you don't even give me the time to become a person that can provide those things that you want on your list. You just telling me, and I got some family members that's like this, and I love them. If y'all dudes gonna keep sipping like that's on y'all, man. You know, if y'all pockets run that deep, respect to it. But I'm just a little bit more stingy because I was raised with women. Some women make a certain requirement of things you gotta pay or give them before they even get to the first date. Before anybody gives you anything for a business, there's a meeting where they have to sit down and see your business plan, your business proposition. Why am I investing in you and you haven't even shown me your portfolio yet? Your page is private, but you want me to trust that it's you. I haven't seen the show Catfish. Matter of fact, I haven't seen it. It's possible that I've been catfished before, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But you want all of this. You want all my resources. You want me to go crazy on my spending, but you're not giving it. You're not showing me why I should. And a person might see this and she's gonna realize what really happened. I met this girl, and she asked me where we were gonna go. So it was for a Wednesday. So I found a nice little Mexican restaurant. It was something. It wasn't nothing crazy. So I sent it to her. She sends me back a restaurant that is like the Salt Bay. So where the appetizers are like $50. And the issue wasn't that I couldn't afford it. The issue that this was on a Wednesday for us to sit down and get to know each other. And you're treating this as if this is a romantic Valentine's or special occasion, or I want to just dine you. This is me getting to know you. And the issue is that you asked me where we're going to go. And then when I told you where we were going to go, you changed it like you didn't like it.
Right.
So it kind of like
the retort was to level up.
Matter of fact, and you know what I did? I did, because right at the bottom of that, when you go on edit, it's this thing called block caller. That's exactly what I did. So when she see this, she's gonna know I blocked her. I don't care, because you, in a way, and you may not have been that person, but how you present yourself is how people are going to take you, and that's what you presented to me like I was a receipt. So I treated you like a product, and you know what? Rather than they say, "Oh, this man dogged me out and he did XYZ," I just cut you off. So you can't tell him I did anything with you. I just chose to block you because I realized that's not what I needed in my life.
Well, it's a lot of I hear this statement a lot of people say, "Well, he don't value me. He don't value." Well, stocks have a value, right?
From 5 to 9.
And it's a perceived value, because today it may be $100 a share, right? Bitcoin, use that one, right? That is the most imaginary thing in the world, because you can't even figure out how it is there other than some mathematical equations and burn up some electricity, right? But you giving this thing a value, and then you find out electricity go out. How much is it valued at now?
Yeah.
So my perceived value of my worth for my job is this much, right? And your employer is thinking you ain't worth that much. So we have a value in our head. They have a value in their head, but you can't overvalue yourself, because I know that if I said, "Hey, I'm going to design this car and I'm going to use the cheapest stuff possible, but I'm going to charge you $100,000," and then break down 2 months into owning it, you ain't going to think it was worth $100,000, right? So my thought is this, you, like you said, what am I investing in? What am I investing in? Now, you're thinking, okay, yeah, this could go far.
Yeah.
And then you find out it don't go nowhere. Now you done spent all this money on somebody that 30 days later, you're like,
30 days later.
I think I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah. I think what we're all alluding to, and again, it's right of a quote from me, right? The people that need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah.
So people that need the most love, they ask for it in the most unloving ways. Right?
Turn on this one.
And
I had to write that one down.
And the author, I typically like to quote people, the author on the album is unknown. I always, I talk about education a lot, but I work with a lot of girls as well when we talk about from the educational system. And you see them when they come in, they see a bill and they are very accommodating to that male. That makes sense, because maybe they look like this person that possibly was an authority figure that also possibly that molested them in some type of way and things of that nature. And they feel like, if I'm able to get close to this person in a certain way, I can get the things that I need, right? When we look at this generation, and I'm glad that, honestly, I was not really a part of like Instagram, Facebook, when it was like really, when I was like in my, I guess I would say my heyday, if that makes sense. But we look at it from that perspective. We talked about this last time, is that all we're really looking for is love.
Mm-hmm.
And when we start again, as you alluded to last time, Mike, when we start looking at it from that horizontal level and not looking at it with the alignment for the creator, we start looking for things that we think are love. And one of the things that a lot of people think that love right now is money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We think that money piece is, if I got this, I'm good. Yeah, I got that status,
Blue check now.
And he did this for me, and he was able to do this. I go back to when me and my wife first dated. I cooked her some chicken and some chocolate cookies, chocolate chip cookies. That was it. She was like, "What? Like, you gonna cook for me?" Yeah. And I did it in my dorm room, where I wasn't supposed to have nothing in that dorm room, right?
No hot plate.
No hot plate, nothing. So I'm frying chicken and I'm cooking. And I'll say this, like, me and my friends was talking, like we were out at the club one night and got into it, men and things of that nature. And I'm doing something I most definitely had no business doing and things of that nature. And me and my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now, got into it. And I realized this when I said this to them. I said, man, she gonna mess around and mess up her future. I thought right then, like, why would I say that? Me personally, like, I never said that about nobody else, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I said she gonna mess around and mess up her future. Why was I thinking that she was in my future? I never thought the future was with anybody, right? It's because she first showed me genuinely love, even to this day, when I mess up, when I fall, when I don't do what I'm supposed to do and things of that nature. She genuinely showed me that, right? And I don't think, I'm not gonna say I don't think, I mean, I'm glad I was born in the era that I was, you know, and was able to, you know, find a woman that will support me through my downfalls, through my ups, through my downs, no matter what, if that makes sense. That no matter what, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, you know, and hold me accountable as well.
Right.
Like you got to get on your stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, you good in all of these areas.
I
You
always say
straight
that
in all
if
these
a
areas.
woman get mad at you, if a woman is getting mad at you as a man, it isn't always because she just mad at you. She
Yeah.
sees your potential. And you're
Potential.
not living up to it.
Not living up to it, and you live up to all of these things in other areas, right? But you're not necessarily measuring up in this area. And she checked me on that, right? And it's on me to be incompetent to say, yeah, you're right. Right. Even though I don't like it, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you look at this post, right, as you all alluded to it, you want that type of privilege before you've shown me that you're worth the return on investment. If that makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You wanted that before you, like, you didn't slum it out with me. Like when I had absolutely nothing, like this person slummed it out with me. And like, yeah, I remember when I first got to this area, Dallas, Texas, I was like, I'm gonna get an apartment. My wife was like, no, let's go try for the house. Like that spark, like, no, we're gonna go, let's go try for the house.
Motivation to push you.
Motivation to push you to go that way, right?
So if she gets on to you for you not living up to your potential,
Yeah,
okay, that's a form of love, real
that's
love.
a form of love. Like, man, you the leader of this. I gotta follow you,
So
right?
come on with it.
And I come on with it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you got to come on with it, right? But from the perspective of sometimes, you know, as a man, we get sensitive about that, like, and say, you ain't got no business telling me no stuff like that. But she has earned the right to be able to do that, right? Our second date, she took me on a date. She took me to go eat steak and shrimp and things of that nature. I had never ate grilled shrimp before in my life. She took me to go eat that, and so I experienced that, you know. So commend her for that. But when we're looking at that post, and I pass it right to you, Migo, when you're looking at that post, what I see is that people want this return on investment before it even has happened. For you shown proof that, you know, you are a valuable stock to be invested in, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna throw the lob to my boy D. I'm glad from what both of y'all said about y'all seen something in both them women, and y'all are with them women today. And this is for the ladies, real quick, because you know we'll say one thing, and then they won't realize really the passion behind what we're saying. What we're saying isn't to discredit women from having standards and saying that y'all can't have no hopes and what y'all want when meeting a man. But what we are saying is that there are some of us, I know we can't speak, you can't talk about your past men because those men are your past, but we're talking about the men that are trying to approach your close future. That there are some men trying to approach you that really do want your best interests. You may have to teach them in some ways, but don't run them off with this mentality that has been adapted. Because I'm a kid that basically grew up in the cassette tape, that seen the introduction of CDs to the iPod to now the Bluetooth. So I remember when if you didn't have a CD player, you had the cassette tape with the little wire into it, and that's how you got to play the extra songs.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is don't miss out because of what you see going on in this world, because honestly, a lot of this there are some things from the new age, as far as understanding, and I think we're more open to the emotional side as being younger parents and stuff. But don't miss out on a good dude or a good woman because of this. Well, no, he got to do X, Y, and Z for me. Sometimes you ain't got to put no money into him, but if you believe in that man, that is a bigger investment than Donald Trump daddy giving him his first $1 million.
My thought is, and I said this before, I said, if I'm in a war, I don't care if you ain't go pick up the gun, at least load the clips.
Like, look, I'll be honest with you. If I know you love me and I know you really care for my spirit and stuff, I probably am jumping in front of a bazooka for you, because I know the way you care about me to make me feel like I gotta be your Superman, and I don't give a damn. I mean, I'm a jump in front of that bazooka, that bullet for you, because of the way what I know that you genuinely care about me on a mental and a spiritual side. And it's not to say that I got everything right, but just to let these women know, like, yo, don't take this as us saying you can't have standards, because I have a daughter. Some of us here got daughters, but
absolutely.
But let's be realistic. Like, get out of this new age mindset and take accountability, and let's humble ourselves. And that's really all I gotta say on that. But like I said, don't approach me with no receipt, and don't approach nobody with a receipt and then be mad when they treat you like a product. You made me want to get a quote. So that's my quote.
Come on with it.
If somebody's saying they said that, I ain't never heard them say it.
I never heard
copyright Migo.
Yeah.
We have to quote our sources, so we gonna quote Migo on that one.
Mr. Appleberry likes quotes, so of course I always say, if I see a woman acting like that as a receipt, I'll tell her, don't miss your blessing. Now, when I say don't miss your blessing, I'm referring to myself. As far as I heard you say, you can't overvalue yourself. I overvalue myself. I feel like I'm a bad boy. I can't expect the next person to feel that way. I can't expect them to overvalue themselves. I'm a man. I got girls. I tell them to overvalue themselves. I tell them your hair, nails, whatever you like to do, your upkeep, that's on you. That's your responsibility.
Exactly.
And however you want it, you can do it. If someone chooses to add to your value, I'm, that's what it is.
I've said it to my daughter. I said, look, I trained you to grow up to be independent, right? I don't expect a man to be the cake and ice cream and you just be the sprinkles. I said, you either be the cake or you be the ice cream, and y'all be the sprinkles for each other.
Come on, man. Hey, we got another quote.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I heard you say when you found a good one.
Absolutely.
What they consist of? What told you? Oh yeah, this the book. What told you?
We got on the phone.
Can he get it?
We got on the phone, and she started talking. Now, my wife's from New Orleans, right? I'm not here nor there on accents or anything like that. Doesn't do anything. But I swear to you, her voice kind of reminded me when I heard it. It went through my body like when you listen to somebody say, "Hey, this is a quiet storm," and when I had that chill go down my body.
Come on with it.
There you go.
That chill go down my body. I was like, whew. And guy was like, hey, that's what I'm saying, boy. That's the one right there. That's that one right there, boy.
Okay.
So I went ahead and I said, I need to find out a little bit more about this woman, right? So I kept talking to her, and then she showed me things that no other woman showed me, because I read a book by Willard F. Harley. I can tell you what it is. It's called His Needs, Her Needs. We have 10 basic needs. And our top 5 pretty much match each other. 1, 2, and 3 were exactly the same. 4 and 5 were flip-flop. What I realized is those first 3 needs are make or break. They got to do it at least 75% of the time, or will cause problems. 4 and 5, they're like 50% of the time. The rest of them, you didn't care. But it was also the things that she said. I was getting ready to go through neck surgery. And I asked her some questions. Said, now, if I got hurt, would you be there for me? And she explained, yeah, this and this and that. Okay, I'm gonna put that in my pocket, right? Then I asked her some other questions. I said, if I'm struggling in any way, financially, whatever, will you help me out? She said, absolutely. Da, 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 da. Well, I said, okay. Didn't let her know that them wheels about to hit the road and see whether or not this car go.
Okay.
Or it was almost like watching a relay race where they pass the baton.
Right.
Next person got
The international fly zone.
Yeah. Come on with it.
Boy, bow. She put that I put that baton in her hand. She was gone with it. And that's why I tell people, I said, yeah, I may look like the general of the house. I'm more like the senator. I'll finance the war. She fighting it.
We may.
I said,
okay.
I don't have to worry about that, right? King lead the castle, that queen is taking over. She running the house, right? I don't question my wife. I don't worry about what my wife is doing. I don't have no question of what she's doing because I guarantee you, she gonna hold it down. She gonna hold it down. And that's when I realized I had somebody that I didn't have to worry about. And that's the best feeling in the world.
You don't have to worry about
it. The best feeling in the world. You can walk out the house, you can be gone for a week. Only one thing she want to know is, okay, you all right? You good? She want to know that I'm there and I'm thinking about her. Other than that,
yeah. I think for me is two things, especially for me. I'm a Gemini, so I like intellectual conversations and things of that nature, right? So intellectual capacity and being able to stimulate my brain, right? Because not saying that I don't like to talk to anybody, because I can talk to anybody, but when you have me to be able to think, right, and ponder and things of that nature. So our first conversation was very intellectual, stimulating from that perspective, because a lot of the times that's going to get me more than the physical, if that makes sense. But the biggest thing is unconditional love. Like, no matter what stupid stuff I do, like, you still like, that ain't you, right? Come back over here and be able to say it in a loving way, but also be able to say it in some way like, I need to hear it. Like that coach would say it to you, like, nah, bro, you ain't that ain't it right there, right? And you need to be able to hear that, right? Going back to that where I said, like, when we were looking at apartments and I was like, I'm gonna go look at apartment. We never even looked at an apartment. She was like, no, let's go look at the house. Yeah, my mindset really quickly, right? Real quick. And I'm talking about this, like, we came here in 2005 after she graduated Jackson State. I graduated the year before that. We stayed with her mom literally 6 months, maybe 8 months, and had a house built by 2006 March. And we've been in that same house 18 years.
Now,
right.
I'm gonna ask you a question, because see, that was the same, not really the same scenario, but I realized my wife was the key to all of the blessings that happened in my life. Because when we first started dating, she was in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was getting ready to, like I said, I was messing up financially and everything like that. That's why I told you I got the financial advice. But I was learning. I was trying to learn, right? And I can tell you about the blessing of somebody knocking at my door trying to teach me that. I knew all the information, just couldn't put all the dots together. But she said, come move with me. We can get all this together. You get it all straightened out. In a 1-bedroom apartment, 3 people. Went from a 1-bedroom to a 3-bedroom apartment. From a a 3-bedroom apartment to a 4-bedroom house. Now we're in a 6-bedroom house.
Come on
Right.
with it.
Now,
Come on with it.
the reason why we moved into that house was to be there for my mother-in-law, which God rest her soul, that was my best weapon in the world. Because my wife get the fussing at me, my mother-in-law be like, leave that man alone. I'm like, yeah, that's mine. But that was a blessing.
Yeah, blessing.
She was absolutely a blessing. It was like everything that needed to be done was done.
Adding to, not taking away.
Yeah.
Adding to. Speaking of mother-in-laws, my mother-in-law is amazing. Like, all she does is encourage me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Raymond, I remember where you used to be at, and you hear it now. Like, thank God for that. Thank God. Don't do nothing but encourage me.
Yeah.
I don't have the relationship like some people talk about they mother-in-law. No, I was like, that's my mama.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's my mama. Like, I'm like,
I cried when my mother-in-law passed away, as if it was my own mother, and I had it for my whole life.
Right.
I cried, and I was like, that's when I realized, you don't marry just the woman, you marry
you marry a family.
that mother-in-law, boy,
time for mama-in-law.
Yeah, absolutely. One time.
She was definitely the one. She was definitely the one. I can tell you that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think you need to chime in here.
My mother-in-law too. Dorothy person, you know who you are. All right.
I'm about to say, jump in here, big bro.
Yeah. And I was listening to what you were saying, and a lot of times you have to also I know I'm guilty of it, but it's a lot of times I gotta humble myself and listen to my wife. I don't just because I'm the man of the house don't mean I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take your pride down a notch or two. In my case, 3 or 4. Because I have to listen.
Just a little bit, man. I'm about 7, 8.
Hey, however you need to take it down, take it down. Because you know what? It's a lot of times they know better.
Mm-hmm.
They know better than we do.
Mm-hmm.
We can do all the physical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They know the mental, the financial, all the inner work. They know what keeps the house going. They know what keeps you going.
Mm-hmm.
We can do all the physical labor stuff. We can do all of that. But I just have to tell myself a lot of times, listen to your wife, man. She know what she's talking about.
Well, I always say, there's 2 logics in your body. There's the brain and there's the heart. So when the brain ain't getting the message, the heart always will.
Yeah.
Yeah. As somebody that aspires to be married, man, something that I noticed with every marriage, with every man that's a leader of his marriage, always says, I listen to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And that goes back to, and some women are going to find possibly issue with this. That goes back to somebody saying a submissive wife can get whatever she wants from her husband.
Absolutely.
But I've literally heard so many husbands that have been married and like have said, no, this is the one, like, and they're giving their wife all the roses. They're not taking credit for nothing, saying, I lead by listening to her.
Mm-hmm.
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 And I can't wait to have that, but I'm just plugging that in there for somebody listening that I'm realizing that, man, because I realize when you're trying to take care of everything, the only way you can take care of everything is if you're okay. And the one person making sure you're okay is her.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's your life. That's your life.
That's what I'm
She's
seeing.
your heart. And once you realize that's your heart, and you take care of your own heart. I guarantee you ain't trying to do nothing wrong with your own heart. Once you take care of your heart, the heart will take care of the rest of the body.
And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that. She's the one making sure, hey, make sure you're breathing, you eating. And this isn't just like, oh, make sure you actually like she's feeding you in that way mentally and spiritually. Hey, did you take a moment for yourself today? Did you breathe today? Did you relax? Did you let loose? Like, I'm realizing that a lot of men are really, the successful marriages are men that listen to their wives. Ladies, don't get the big head with that and try and use that as ammunition. But because I really realized that that's a man that realized that he can be vulnerable and there stay with his wife
Yeah,
because
yeah.
his wife is going to make sure that he is strong enough to handle everything.
Yeah, make sure he's straight.
Yeah.
We have a saying in Memphis like everybody cool, but ain't nobody straight.
That's a Memphis right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that man Appleberry got them
Like,
quotes.
everybody cool, but
Appleberry,
ain't
apple
nobody
juice,
straight. And when you
Appleberry.
find that somebody's straight, that means they hold you down no matter what. Man, you hold on to those people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big believer, like whether that's a friendship, your marriage, anything of that nature, you earn that position to be called, let's say, best friend or my wife, things of that nature. You earn those things, right? And when you earn those things can't never go away, if that makes sense, right? So when you earn those things, yeah, can't nobody, for lack of a better term, come to you with X, Y, Z and things of that nature. I'm willing to fall on that sword for you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to earn that, right?
Yeah.
And you earn it through time. You earn that through situations. You earn through that going through those battles, going through those storms, and looking at that person saying, no matter what, I'm right here with you. You see what I'm saying? I'm right here with you no matter what. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that in the end of the day, we're all human. We're all susceptible to fall and things of that nature. But when you down on that ground, that person, like I said, just grab your hand and pick you up and say, they don't say it's all right. They say, I know you've been going through something, but get up off this mat and provide and lead and walk and talk and do this just like you do it. Because can't nobody do it like you do it. My partner Nala said this, like, be you because everybody else is taken.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that is Appleberry apple juice. I say Appleberry apple juice. AB. That man got them quotes.
And on that, we gonna call that a wrap, man. Hey, look, we got into it tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, we went down.
Hey.
That's a 1 million view episode right there.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
That last quote you just said, though, can you run that back?
Be you.
The Memphis quote.
Everybody cool, but ain't nobody straight.
Memphis right there.
Yeah.
Memphis. That's just as much as Memphis is putting slaw on chopped beef.
You see that
Already. You know already.
What you know about the slaw on the chopped beef?
Yeah.
I just put the time
What kind of sauce you put in it?
What kind of sauce? I don't want no slaw on my chopped beef.
Hey, what was
I don't want no slaw on my chopped beef. What's up?
You don't need no sauce on that.
No diddy. You don't need no sauce on your beef. Yeah.
Oh man. Hey,
Welcome.
you might not even see that. You might not even see that part of the last episode.
Welcome to the fray, brother.
Go ahead, big bro. You know that. I said
I see that way lean. Okay, let me check you out.
All right. We want to thank everybody. So we want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. And thank you for tuning in to watch us. We want to ask, as usual, like, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. That helps our algorithm. Okay? Please do so. Also, I know we said last week that new episodes will be out on Sundays. We're moving it to Wednesday. New episodes every Wednesday. Because, come on, we record the show on Monday. We don't want to wait a week for the show to be out. We're going to put it out on Wednesday. So here we go. This will be out on Wednesday. And I'm sure everybody says thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And we will see you next week.
Let the brother speak.